Welcome back. Dr. Natalie Gonzalez here. I've been asked a lot lately, how do I get back on track after my vacation, my holiday, after I've just gotten so far off track, I don't know where to start. I'm going to tell you how I do it, but keep in mind we need to tailor whatever I say to fit what you can do and what fits your lifestyle. So just keep that in mind with everything that I tell you. Let's get started. I always get off track with holidays, sometimes weekends, just having family visits or company or going to visit someone. I get off track for all kinds of reasons, usually holidays and vacations and traveling. So for me, getting off track means that by the time I get back, I'm not sleeping well. I'm usually in a lot of pain. I get a lot of joint and muscle pain when I'm not eating well. I get more anxious and irritable. I just don't handle the little stresses every day at all. And I find myself having to go back and apologize to everybody. That's how I know I'm irritable, because I have to keep going back and apologizing. So I can usually tell I'm off. For me, I start with something easy. And the first easy thing to start with is sleep. So sleep would be just a matter of making sure that I am doing a really nice wind down routine in the evening. So the last 2 hours of the day, that I don't have any bright lights in my face, that I'm not doing any kind of stimulating activities like watching the news or diving into something like exciting new research that's out there. I don't do that at bedtime. If I'm going to read something or watch something, I make sure that it's going to be really low key, that it will be something a little bit relaxing, maybe even a little bit bordering on boring, to just kind of take my brain and take it offline for a little bit. And I sometimes will do a walk, but I don't do exercise after 4 p.m. It just gets me wound up. I avoid caffeine and alcohol when I'm trying to reset. Both of them interfere with sleep and relaxation, and in ways that I don't think we take into account. And so it can make a huge difference to take those out of my diet for a few weeks. I take out the sugar, the corn, the wheat, the dairy, things that are inflammatory for me, and they may be different for you. Remember, I said you're going to tailor this for what you know works for your body. And I might clean up my diet in terms of more lean meats, less fatty meats. Fatty meats are very inflammatory, but fatty fish are quite good for regulating inflammation. And then I put a lot more of the antioxidants and the colorful vegetables, dark berries. All of those are antioxidants and anti-inflammatory foods. They're wonderful. So that would be the way I would redo food. And the other thing is I would make sure that I'm not eating close to bedtime. I like to have my stomach empty so that my body knows we're not digesting at bedtime. We are resting and just metabolizing things, making sure that they're in the right place in your body so that your body can use them at the right times. And a lot of that's during sleep. So not eating in the 3 hours before bed, and not drinking a lot those last couple hours. Maybe a few sips here and there. If you have medications, take them an hour or two ahead of time, so that's, out of your stomach by the time you get ready to lay down for sleeping. And then just make sure, if you need a relaxing shower, if you need to do a meditation, those are times to do it in those last 2 hours of the day. Let's talk a little bit about movement. I don't do my exercise after 4 p.m. because I'm really sensitive to not being able to sleep well. So I really like to avoid any vigorous exercise after 4 p.m. If I want to do something, I might do a leisurely walk, something really easy, not something that's really getting you hot and sweaty and wound up right before bed. So when I'm getting back into my routine, I would try to do my exercise in the morning, make it a moderate degree of effort for the exercise. Doesn't have to be high stress or high intensity, but to do those workouts in the morning is really good. And, just get into that routine where you have a morning time that you're getting up consistently. That will also help your evening routine go more consistently. When I get back and I'm focusing on setting everything, relationships are one of those things. So I like to make sure I have certain times of the day that I have contact with my husband. So that's going to be in the morning, a lot of times at noon for lunch, and then in the evenings, of course. That's my part of my evening routine, is just spending some time with him and winding down. But when you get back from vacations, long vacations, just make sure you check in with your friends and your family, and you kind of know how things are going. It just kind of settles those pieces around you a little bit, and takes away some of the anxiety that you might be feeling when you're trying to regroup and reset things. Lastly, I really always have to bring myself back to resetting in terms of relaxation and unwinding. So that would be just getting back to my breathing routine in the morning. Often I will do a guided meditation, and a guided meditation can be something I'm doing in the morning at noon, or sometime during the middle of the day, but also in the evening. A guided meditation that will help me relax and wind down is part of my evening routine. So those things take practice, and they really take you being able to decide for yourself what fits into your day and when, and what makes you feel better. And sometimes you need to keep track of it so that you'll know if something is making a difference. And sometimes what you'll find is that when you stop doing it for 3 or 4 weeks, the first couple weeks, you may not know that those were making so much difference for how you felt until you're off your schedule for 3 to 4 weeks. And then you realize, wow, I really am not doing well. I'm not interacting with people very well, and I'm not functioning as well as I used to. And that's your clues or your barometer to kind of step back and say, okay, where am I going to start? Just pick the easy things, pick 2 or 3 things that are easy and start with those. And you will develop a routine to reset your health, just like I have. If you found any of this information helpful, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.